BSBATF. That's 5 consonants and a vowel. I'm not reading that. Igpat. Egg. Pat. Tgoao. Tgo. Oao. Tgoao. Wait. AGCAFP. Agafp. Agafp. That's 4 consonants in a row. I'm not reading that. Igbale. Igbale. Igbai. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have to be Igbale or Igbale. That's 4 consonants in a row. E and I. No. Artsa. 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 Sure. That's 5 consonants and a vowel. Boxo. 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 What? That's like... that's 4 vowels. Ao dao. Ao dao. Gebopper. 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 Bafses. Baf. Ses. Bafses. Ertga. 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 Stockby. Stock. B. Stockby. Ogaeb. Oga. Eb. Ogaeb. What? That's 6 consonants in a row. I'm not reading that. That's 5 consonants in a row. I'm not reading that either. Obesp. Obesp. Though it could also be obesk if you were reading 9 as a Q instead of a P. Obesk. Oxford. 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 That's 5 consonants in a row. I'm not reading that. That's 3 consonants followed by 3 vowels. Bowie. Bowie. You have to pronounce it with an extra emphasis on the plosive. You have to almost spit. Aspas. Asp. Bas. Aspas. Oh wait, that's not... Those are R's. My apologies. Arbar. Arp. Bar. I keep confusing 2s for 5s. Afkesk. Afk. Esk. Though it could be Afsesk or Af... Could it be Afsesk? It would have to be either Afsesk or Afkesk. Either way. I think this is the closest thing to a name that I've got so far. Avocado. Never mind. This is the closest thing to a name I've got so far. Avocado. Soy puffer. Soy puffer. Soy puffer. Peaceable. Peace. Aber. Peaceable. Not a very flattering name. Ibiro. Biro. Ibiro. Though it could also probably be Ibiro. Although I'm hesitant to say that one because of the fact that there's a double consonant. Radice. Radice. 3 and an E is going to just be an E. Radice. That's how you say horseradish, although with a less emphasis on an E. That's 5 consonants and a vowel, I'm not reading that. Call me a coward, but this is my video, I make the rules. Atisp. No. Pdob. Or potentially pdoob. The 3 consonants in a row are really going to kill this. Well, let's count. That is 4 G's. Or I guess 4 sixes, which translates into 4 G's. That's more G's than any given word is supposed to have. That's a Mr. Krabs laugh is what that is. As a pet. As a pet. As a pet. That could honestly be like a name for an Egyptian character. As a pet. I hope that that's not cultural appropriation. I mean, it's quite literally just a hex code. That's 5 consonants and a vowel. No thank you. Also, very bad green. Adopio. 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 Sogv. Sobvk. No. Soabgf. Sobgv. I can see a pronunciation chart in which all of these turn into a singular F sound. Even then, sov. No. What? That's 4 consonants in a row. I'm not reading that. That's 5 consonants and a vowel. I'm not reading that either. Obrape. 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 I'm not reading that with a silent E and an A sound, but because of obvious connotations, but obrape. Let's do another row. That's 5 consonants and a vowel, I'm not reading that. That's also 5 consonants and a vowel. That's 6 consonants and no vowels. Pketoa. Pke. Toa. Ketor. It could also be Psator, but no. I don't think that there is a word in English language where the C sounds like an S after a plosive, so Ketor. Then again, there is no word in the English language where a C comes after a plosive, so there is that. Roses. Roses. If the hex codes allowed for an H, this would be very close to roaches. Thankfully, it's not. It's roses. Or roses. Or potentially even roques. Alteot. 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 Maybe even Alteot. This is 5. No, this is 6 consonants. Ogpa. 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 Sort of an evolution of OK Boomer. Ogpa. Spape. Spap. Pe. Spape. Psagats. Psagats. Wait, no. Where am I getting the second A? There is no A. Psgat. Psgat. That's just not a good sound. I hate this. Aptegi. 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 Although it could also be Aptegal. Try to throw in a Nahuatl name. Kbira. No. What? Kbriba. 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 That's 5 consonants and a vowel. That's also 5 consonants and a vowel. 3 of these are plosive. This is also 5 consonants and a vowel. Efafe. F. Fafe. Efafe. It could also potentially be a faith. F. Faith. A faith. That's a lot of F's. Kinda like me in school. Pkvelb. 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 Decoy. Sorry. D-E-C-O-A-E. Decoy. Let's just go through all of the vowels that a hex codes allow. That's 6 consonants. That's also 6 consonants. Edark. 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 It is a dark color. It is an Edark color. Eric, I don't like the cricket sound effect. Patode. I don't know why I said it like that. Patode. Patode. Alternatively, it could be patode. Pa. Toad. Patode. Babs. 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 It's very difficult to get both B and P before an S. Babs. Odd buffer. Odd buffer. Odd buffer. Alternatively, it could be odd bathe. Odd bathe. Odd bathe. Pebiga. Pebiga. Pe. Bigger. Pebiga. That's 4 consonants in a row. Is that 4 consonants in a row? It is 4 consonants in a row. That's 5 consonants and a vowel. Ebb. Elf. Ebb. Elf. Abelf. Beeikt. 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 Tokked. Tokked. Though if you were very loosely interpreting the 7, it could also be a J. Jocket. Jocket. Sidert. 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 Gibap. Gibap. Gi-bap. Again, interpreting 9 as a Q, it could also be Gibak. Gibak. Geekops. Geekops. Guycops. It's almost like someone mispronounced the name Jacob. This could have been a 7, just for you to know. This could have been a 7. Saw stuff. Saw stuff. Sauce. Stuff. Egbdi. Egbdi. Egg. Bdi. That's 5 consonants and a vowel. Not keen. Pialb. Pialb. The emphasis should be on an A. Pialb. P-alb. Pialb. I could interpret one as an I, but that would result in 4 vowels. Almost like the opposite of the regular problem with trying to figure out a name through hex codes. Usually you get too many consonants, as is done by most of this video, but this one is the first time that you get too many vowels. That is 4 consonants in a row. You can't even interpret it. You can't even interpret 7 as a vowel. Feated. Feated. Fee. Ted. Like a bad superhero name. Look, guys, here is Ted. He's into feet. Let's call him Feated. That's a terrible joke. Eptost. Eptost. Ep. Toast. Eptost. Let's do 20 more. That's 4. No, that's 5 consonants and a vowel. Adbo. Aedbo. Aedbo. I could have sworn I saw some people interpreting 4 as an F, or as an H. I can't find that any longer. I don't think that would make a difference. Gbabeb. Gbabeb. Gba. Beb. Gbabeb. Alternatively, it could be Gbabe. But that doesn't work. You would have to you would have to make either this or this be a silent one. This is 6 consonants. F-S-I-E-T-D. Seated. Seated. That's terrible. Idvpr. 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 That's 5 consonants and a singular vowel. That's not even a vowel, necessarily. Rorp. Rorp. Ro. Arp. Rorp. Alternatively, Rorbe. But I don't like that. I like to ponder my Rorp. A robe made of orbs. Either Iastva. 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 Or, alternatively interpreting 1 as an L, Lastva. Lastva. Last-fa. Gpfeed. Gpfeed. GB. Feed. Gpfeed. That's 5 consonants and a vowel. Caught up. Caught up. Caw. Tab. Alternatively, co-job. 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 This is 6 consonants again. Aifaf. Aifaf. You have to pronounce it like a moron, otherwise it doesn't work. Aifov. Rakode. Rakode. Ra. Code. Rakode. How? E-S-I-A-T-R. What? This is the first time that I am genuinely unable to read a hex code without, like, with enough letters where it should make sense, but it doesn't. Isater? Isater? That doesn't seem right. If you have an idea as to how to read 351472, be my guest. Obset. No, obsep. Obsep. Ob. Pseb. Obsep. Sat! Sat! Sa. At! Sat! This is 5 consonants and a singular vowel. Final one. Pkaspi. Pkaspi. Pkas. B. Pkaspi. I don't know why I made this video. Happy April Fools, I guess.